All right, now I'm recording. Now I'll share my screen. All right, so I'm talking about motivation and momentum and losing it and how to get it back. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I myself am coming out of a slump. It's been a couple months and I've been a coach now for 4 years. For those that don't know me, my name is Brenda. I'm from Chicago. I'm a Ruby coach. I have been a coach for 4 years. It was actually 4 years last week. And in the 4 years, there has definitely been a lot of these moments where I've lost motivation. I've kind of gotten off track with my nutrition and like my workouts. So what you see on the screen here are the 5 reasons why I think most coaches lose motivation or maybe have a stall in their business. So the first one is because you're overwhelmed from the start. You can get off track, you miss a goal, you have your coaches quitting or they go inactive, or you reached a big goal, but then you don't know like where to go or what happens after that. So I'm going to kind of go over each one. And to be honest, I think all of them, I can relate to all of them. And so overwhelmed. I think we all feel overwhelmed, especially if you're a brand new coach and you're on this call and you feel overwhelmed. I want you to know that it's okay, that it's totally normal to feel overwhelmed as a new coach. And even if you ask a coach that's been doing this for a while, like myself, there's still times where I still feel overwhelmed because things are changing so often. You hear about so many trainings and social media, get on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Periscope, go live on video, and you're just like, what do I do? Like, I want to do all these things, but in reality, we can't do everything. And the problem with it, at least for me, is that it's like when you're on your computer and you have all these tabs open, and you're trying to do multiple things at once, and you don't get a lot done. So steps to come back from being overwhelmed: accept the fact and know that it's okay that you're going to feel overwhelmed at the beginning, and you're going to have times during your business where you won't, but then you will again, because things are changing, because maybe your rank changes, you have more people on your team, you have more challengers that you're working with. So there's so many reasons why you can get overwhelmed. But the number one thing to do is to go back to simplicity. So the first thing I suggest is make sure you're tracking your stuff, and you're going to hear this multiple times. But a simple tracker, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. If you want to track it on your computer on a plain Excel spreadsheet, do that. If you want to write it out on a notebook, do that. Whatever it is that works for you, because you're going to see so many people that use TeamC, I forgot what it's called, but on Google Strike or something like that we learned. You're going to see Google spreadsheets. You're going to see everybody uses something different, but you just got to find something that works for you and keep it simple. Don't worry about doing what everybody else is doing. Do what works for you. I like to write my stuff out. I've tried doing it online. I've tried the Google thing. I've tried TeamZ, and I didn't keep up with it. So instead of trying all these fancy things, I'm just going to go back to the basics and get my notebook and get my pencil and just do it there. Another thing to focus on when you're feeling overwhelmed is just sharing your story. That's like the perfect spot to start. Even if you're a brand new coach, you still have a story to share. So pick a little piece of your story, why you signed up. If you've been a coach for a couple of weeks and you've been doing a program, share how it's going, why you decided to start, what were you doing before you became a coach. Maybe you were going like me. I was going to the gym for months, always on the stupid treadmill machine, getting no results, eating very little and thinking that was going to work, and then wondering, why am I not seeing results? So that's a story that you have to share, because there's so many people that are going to relate to it. So share your personal story. Don't be afraid to put it out there. And if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to share everything, but share a little piece, because that's how you're going to attract people that are on the same path as you, or that are going through the same thing. And then you're going to hear this all the time, but you got to practice your 4 vital behaviors. When you feel overwhelmed, go back to the basics. Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Are you drinking a Shakeology, doing your workout? Are you talking to people, making new friends? Are you going into doing your personal development? And are you recognizing anybody on the team? It doesn't have to be, if you have one person on your team, you have a team. So don't be like, well, I don't have anybody to recognize. You can share other people on the team's success story or transformation if maybe you do only have one person on your team. And then plug into the team. We have the National Wake Up Call every morning at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you can't get on it because you're at work or you got stuff going on, there's a podcast. They have a podcast where you can listen at any time of the day. They have a replay number that you can call in. And then personal development. So that's one of the things that I kind of let go of this summer. I stopped reading my 10 pages. I listen to podcasts every day, but I like reading a lot and I stopped doing it. And so when you don't feed your brain with positive stuff, there's going to be other stuff that go into your brain, and that's going to affect the way that you feel and then the way that you're treating your business. So that's my overwhelmed part. And then we have getting off track. This is probably, I've definitely gone through this one, and I think most people on our team go through it. There's always a cycle. Usually for me, it's kind of in the winter time, especially in the Midwest, where you have no sunlight. I work from like 8 to 5. So before I leave the house, it's dark. I come back and it's dark, and it's just a gloomy time. The winter blues, if you want to call it that. And it's something that really exists. So that's when I kind of just like you don't really want to leave your house and nobody's really going to see you. So you're like, well, I can do whatever in my house and nobody's really going to know. And when spring break comes around, that's when I'll get back in it. But that's actually when it matters the most, especially going into Christmas and the New Year season, because that is when you want to be talking to the most people, because come January, that's when all the little seeds you've been sprinkling through the fall and winter are going to come to flourish if you've been doing the 4 vital behaviors. So if you have gotten off track, know that it's okay. Know that it happens to a lot of people, if not all of us at some point. It doesn't have to necessarily be with your nutrition or your workouts. It could just be falling off track with the business. It's happened to me, like not being consistent, not making new friends every day, not following up with people, not checking in with people. So ask for accountability and don't be afraid of it. Tell your sponsor, if you don't have a sponsor that's working the business, tell your upline. Allison is always willing to work with anybody on our team. Don't be afraid to reach out to her. She's, she'll talk to you if you need it. Find a success partner. We saw one of the workshops at Summit was about success partners, and I know that I've tried it, I think twice. And the tips that I have is don't ask your best friend or good friend to be a success partner, because it doesn't always go well, because you kind of give that person you let them slide with stuff. You need to have somebody that's the opposite of you, that's going to call you out when you ask them to, and they're going to remind you of, hey, remember when you told me that you wanted me to keep you accountable for whatever? So they're going to call you out on it. So it doesn't necessarily even have to be on our team. I know Carolyn has a success partner on another team. So that's awesome. They work out together, they do stuff together. So if you're in whatever state that you're in, if it's somebody else and you're in the big team, maybe, for example, in Chicago, we have Dream Extreme, which is Christina's team. And so Allison is under her and we're under Allison, but I can find a success partner in another team under Christina. So, and it doesn't necessarily have to be even then. It could be anywhere. So ask for accountability. Don't be afraid to admit that, hey, I fell off track. It's totally okay. And then make your goals public. So whatever it is that you're trying to commit to, there's a lot of coaches that start a program and then don't finish it. So the first thing is ask for accountability and find something that you can do. So it doesn't even have to be like a 30-day program. You can do the 21-day fix or a fix extreme. You can even do the 3-day refresh, which is only 3 days. You're going to have a before and after picture within a week. So if you're going to do it, put it out there. That way people know, hey, she's real. She's telling us what happened. And now she's making it public that she's going to go back and do, get back into whatever it is she's trying to do. That's something that I'm also going through right now, because the summer, me and my husband live downtown Chicago, and the lifestyle up there is a lot of going out and eating, a lot of going out in happy hour. And so we focused too much on that and lost track of, our nutrition and not our workouts, because we've been working out, but just like everything else. So we have to go public now and put it out there, because it's something that, I'm going through, and I know that people go through it. So don't be afraid to share it. Trust me, the people that you want, you're going to attract by being you and being honest and being real. And then create short-term goals. So if in fact you did fall off track, say with your nutrition or health, and you gained back 10 pounds, 50 pounds or whatever, and now you want to lose it, make sure that you're creating a realistic goal. So if you are going to commit to another program, the 21 Day Fix, make sure that your goal for that is to at least complete it if you've never completed a program. Don't make crazy goals that are probably not realistic and are not going to happen, and then you're just going to set yourself up for failure. And then this little quote that I put on here, I really like it, but it says, sometimes you have to get off track to discover a better track. I know that's happened to me plenty of times, not just with my nutrition and working out, but also with the business. When I first built a diamond, I probably was a diamond for a couple of weeks and I lost everything because I didn't build it right. I was chasing a rank, and when I got it, I didn't know what to do. So, and then I lost it. So that had to happen to me. So I knew that I was doing something wrong and that I had to change what I was doing in order to build back up and do it the right way, even though it was going to take me longer and you're going to start from the beginning. Now when I look back, like, I'm thankful that happened to me. When it happened to me, it sucked and I hated it. And I was like, why? But in reality, it all fell back to me because I didn't do it right the first time. So that's that. Now we're talking about missing goals. Once again, this happens to a lot of us. Even those coaches that are really successful, 5 stars, 10 stars, 15 stars, whatever you want to call it. They earn, Success Club, All-Star Legends and stuff like that. Like, you're pushing for a goal so bad, and then, you're really close. For example, summit time, you have to hit a certain rank by, 6 weeks before summit so you can be on stage and be recognized. There's plenty of people that miss it, or pushing for elite or whatever. Even if you're a simple new coach and you always hear diamond, emerald, like, what's your, when are you gonna get there? What's your due date? And then you say, okay, I'm gonna be a diamond by November 1st. And then November 1st comes and you're not a diamond. And so you're like, you let that deter you, and you're like, well, I didn't do it. So, I'm just going to, you let that bring you down, and you can't. For one, I don't think that you signed up to be a coach for a specific rank. And to be honest, a rank is just a rank. When you hear the word diamond, it sounds cool because other people are talking about it. But when you get there, you wake up and you're a diamond. You look in your back office, you're a diamond. And you feel the same way that you felt the day before. And you're going to feel the same way the day after. So it's not like your whole life changes overnight because you hit this rank. So don't focus on a rank. If you focus on helping people and building relationships, rank and money will follow. So you missed your goal. Now you got to assess, like, was that a realistic goal? Like, are you a brand new coach and you're trying to be diamond in a week? Is it possible? Yes, but it's going to take a lot of work. So depending on how committed you are to the business, how much time you're putting in, make sure that you're making realistic goals and that you're not, like I said, setting yourself up for failure. So if you do miss a goal, reevaluate. What do you need to do? Go back to the beginning. And don't pull the "it's hard for me" excuse, because it's hard for all of us, guys. None of us knew when we started, none of us knew what this business was going to be, what it entailed. Don't get so hung up on people saying no to you, people not responding to you. It happens to all of us. 4 years in, it happens to all of us. It doesn't matter what your rank is. The more people actually that you talk to, the more no's you're going to get, the more people that are going to ignore you. it's not you, it's them. They're not ready, and you got to be okay with it. You just don't let it, bring you down just because you got a simple no, or because somebody doesn't want to respond, or somebody unfriended you. If it's for you, it will not pass you. Remember that. Andrea Crowder said that at Summit, and it's stuck in my head ever since then. If it is for you, it will not pass you. So don't get so hung up on that person that said no. I know sometimes we have challengers and we're like, oh, they're going to be so good as coaches. And you talk to them and they said yes. And then you reach out to them and no response. Or they defriend you. Or they sign up with somebody else. It's going to happen. You're never going to wake up and be like, oh, everybody that I talk to is saying yes. And they're all signing up as coaches. It's just not. So it's hard for everybody. And when you want to talk about hard, when you say hard, like, what are you comparing hard to? Like, it's hard to post a picture of yourself on Facebook. It's hard to send a message on Facebook Messenger saying, hey, how's your summer going? It's hard and I heard this from Miguel Carrasco on the Bombshell Dynasty Surge before Summit, where he was talking about your hard, like, that stuff is not hard when you compare to like other stuff that's happening to people, like terminal illnesses, not having clean water. That's hard. Putting yourself out there is not hard. You just got to pick, like, if you're going to say that that's hard, if that's how you think, that's how you're going to act. So that is something also that is stuck in my head ever since he said it. So whenever like I'm doing something and I'm like, oh, it's hard. And I'm like, no, this is not hard. Like, you've done harder things, or you've been through things in your life that are hard. Like what my parents did to bring me here when they were little, that was hard. Like, don't say that this is hard when it's not. You're just putting it in your head because it's uncomfortable and you don't want to do it. On to the next one. So you got coaches that quit. Once again, it happens to everybody. There will people that will be so excited, that will say yes, that will sign up, and then you never hear from them. They're still there. I have a couple of those, they're still coaches, but when I message them, they don't respond. You have to be okay with being the last one standing. If you are going to let somebody that quits or that goes inactive bring you down, then you're not going to get very far, because people quit all the time. Because like I said, they don't want it that bad, or maybe they just thought that, hey, it looks fun, it looks easy. Maybe they didn't want to actually build a business. Maybe they just wanted to have a discount, or maybe they wanted to be part of a group of fun people. And you putting all your marbles on them, you can't do that. You got to focus on the people that actually want this. So you need to make sure that you know the people that you recruit, and exactly why they're doing it. Why did they sign up? And those reasons can change along the way. Sometimes people sign up as, just for the discount, and then they get good results, and then they want to do more. And then there's going to be times when you feel like everything is like crumbling. Like, challengers are saying no, people don't want to be in your free group, people don't want to be your coach, people are complaining, and you're going to be like, am I the crazy one? Like, am I missing something? Like, is this really not going to happen? Like, and do these people know something that I don't? You can't think like that. If you signed up for a reason, and if you have it in your belly that like this was it, like the same feeling that I got the first day that I watched that webinar with Christina Sullins is still a feeling that I get today when I hear, oh, what is coaching called? Like I want to sign up all over again. So you have to be not super excited, but you just got to want it. And you can't let one single person or a couple people, because they quit or because it doesn't work for them, bring you down and for you to be like, maybe this isn't going to work for me. Once again, if you start thinking like that, that's how you're going to start to act. And you're just going to, little by little, just lose interest. You're going to stop doing your personal development. You're not going to think that working out and drinking a shake every day is important. You're not going to reach out to people. And then you're going to say that the business doesn't work, when in reality, you chose not to do the work. So once again, you're not the crazy one. And then you also need to know that there's going to be seasons of no rewards. Once again, going back to the same thing, you're talking to all these people and, you're getting no's. Your weekly paychecks are, I don't know, $14 maybe, or $30 for a Shakeology order, and you feel like you're doing all the right things, and you're talking to all these people, and you're still not seeing anything. It happens. Like in life we have seasons too, where you have to reap what you sow, they say. So if you're doing all the work now and you feel like it's not paying off, just know that it's coming, but you have to be consistent. I put pumping the well here because it's similar to that. When you start pumping a well, the water's going to come down, little by little, like little drops. But if you keep pumping and you're being consistent with it, eventually you're going to get a flow of water. So it's kind of like how this business works. You have to keep sprinkling your seeds. If you don't sprinkle enough, when it's time for that harvest to grow, you're not going to have a lot. So be okay with knowing that there's going to be times where you're just not going to get rewarded for it. You're going to, like they say, in the business, you're going to do a lot for a little at the beginning. So later on, you can do a little for a lot. And when I say that, it doesn't mean it's going to be like in a couple months or maybe even in a couple years. The people that are really consistent, some of them have become millionaires in 5 years. It depends on what your goal is and, like how much you're willing to put in the work, how much time you're willing to invest, and how much, sorry, I lost my train of thought there, but, and then the last thing, going back to being consistent, just think of being an emerald on repeat. Like I said before, don't focus on the rank, but focus on, if you repeat emerald every single month, you're eventually going to get to diamond. And then if you help your coaches underneath you do the same thing, emerald every single month, you'll see star diamond and so on. Like I said, don't make it so complicated. If you got to emerald once already, why can't you do it again? And then again, and then again. Like, think of it that simple. Like, you got to emerald once, you got 2 people to sign up for you. Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. And even if it takes you 2 years to become a diamond, who cares? You're building it the right way. Yeah, there's people that make it to diamond really fast, but sometimes what they don't share is that they lose their diamond really fast because they're just focusing on numbers. And then something that Shaun T talked about during Summit at one of when he was talking was, ask yourselves, if you lived in a glass house, is what you're sharing or talking about on social media what people would see on the outside? So if you're talking about, working out every day and drinking your shake and I'm eating right and everything that you're doing, and you're in a glass house, is what you're saying actually what you're doing? So you have to be honest with yourself. And then my very last one is, a lot of people get stuck when they reach a goal. So once again, going back to my very own example, when I reached diamond and I don't know, I guess I didn't think that I had to keep doing the same things that I had been doing to get to diamond. I just kind of laid off. I let my foot go off the gas pedal, and then what happened? I told you guys, I lost diamond really fast. So you just got to switch your focus, and that's what I had to do. And it sucks starting over again, but you learn along the way. I learned how I didn't want to build my business and how I did want to build my business. I figured out who I wanted on my team and who didn't need to be on my team. The people that got me to diamond, I think most of them are gone now. They're not even coaches. So there you go. I had more than 8 coaches, and I've had at least 6 people quit. So when I'm talking about all these things about people quitting and stuff, it's true. And yeah, it bums you out. I'm not saying that, don't let it affect you. Yeah, if it's people that if people that you really thought were going to do good because you wanted them to, do better, it does bum you out. We have feelings. Of course you're going to feel bad, but you can't get hung up on it. You can't want something for somebody else more than they want it for themselves. So switch your focus, reinvent yourself, and then figure out your why again, and not just necessarily figure it out like your why, like, because I want to be a stay-at-home mom. You need to have a vision, like, how's that going to look? How is it going to feel? And then I was listening to a Lindsay Metway call today, and she's talking about your why here and your vision here, and you have a bridge. And so actually it's you here and your why here, and you have a bridge. So you're here. If your why, your why has to be so strong that if it were to start burning, you're willing to walk that bridge over and do whatever it takes to stop it from burning down. So that's how big your why needs to be. And for a very long time, I've had a hard time with this because a lot of people, it's why is because they want to stay at home with their kids, because they want to bring their husband home from the military. And my why has never been that. My why for a very long time I thought was selfish, because I want to travel more, because I want to pay off my student loans. Actually, my student loans right now, that's like my biggest why, because I don't want to live in debt, because I grew up with parents that were in debt all the time, because I grew up thinking that debt was normal and that was just part of life, and that I was just, that's what you do. Like, you're always going to be in debt. For a very long time after I graduated school, that's what I told myself. Like, I'm going to be 50 years old and I'm going to be in debt. And I thought that was funny. And it's not funny. And that's not really what I wanted. Until I saw other people being able to do it. And I was like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And like, they're in way much more debt than me and they did it. Like, I can definitely do it. But once again, like, don't compare your why to anybody else's. If it's got to be your own for whatever reasons, your why is not better or less than anybody else's. So I did that for a very long time too. Don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare yourself, your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 5 or somebody's chapter 10. If you're a new coach, don't compare yourself to me. Don't compare yourself to Allison or anybody else, because everybody runs this like on their own time. But also don't be discouraged when things don't go your way because you're not doing the things that you said you were going to do. Be honest with yourselves, once again, like I said. So my takeaways for you guys is, if you are in any of these stages, know that it's okay. Know that it's probably going to happen again. And know that you have a whole team of people that are probably have been through, if not are going through the same thing. So don't be afraid to ask for help or accountability. Reach out to somebody. And I think the easiest way sometimes is just to go back to the basics, become a challenger again. Get yourself motivated to work out again and have your nutrition on track and drink your Shakeology, plug into that challenge group every single day, and then see if your business doesn't start to go well. Because if you have people under you and your business is suffering, it's highly most likely that their business is suffering too. I know it because it's happened to me this whole summer. My team, if I wasn't present, my team wasn't around. And when I came back in and I was like, hey guys, I need to apologize because I've been a terrible coach. And they all kind of like, yeah, I was in a funk. I had stuff going on at work. Everybody has stuff going on. And it's okay. But if you really want to get results, if you really want this business to take you somewhere, you, once again, have to be honest with yourself. And you got to be willing to just move on. Don't hold on to what I already did these past 4 years. I can't change that. I've learned from it. And I don't regret anything of it. I love this business more now than I ever have. And quitting has never been an option for me, and I hope it never is for you guys, because it's changed my life completely. If I maybe haven't helped one person, I've helped myself, and that's huge because most people don't even take that step. So that is all I have for you guys. I'm going to stop recording. So if you have any questions or want to say anything, go ahead and jump in. I don't know how much time we have left. All right. Anybody want to jump in on anything? And sorry if I spoke too fast, but thanks, Allison. That is true, guys. Like I said, I've been a coach for 4 years, and I could sit here and compare myself to everybody and cry about it, but that's not going to do me any good. I had to be really honest with myself and what I really wanted from this business, and make a plan. Start from scratch. Yeah, I kind of suck, but I'm not going anywhere, so I don't care if it takes me 20 years. I'm gonna be here. All right. Well, I'm gonna post a recording when I have it ready, and then if you guys think of anything, feel free to comment on the recording. Otherwise, thanks for jumping on, and we will see you guys next week.